Hey, motherfuckers, it's Bongan. This may be my last video. I don't exactly know how much time I have left. Um, I don't know what my fate will be, whether it will be prison or death. I'm not sure yet. Or actually a combination of the two. Kind of the way I'm going is probably going to be both. But I'm going to tell you this. Melanated entities. Many of you don't know who or what you are, right? And as a result of that, you allow the American society or Western society or the pale faces, which as a collective have been our open enemy, to define who you are. And as a result of that, you carry out their bidding, right? So I have been set up. I was set up by my own people. And the parable of Jesus teaches us that his own people set him up to have him killed. Do you understand what I'm telling you? His people were in such poor shape. They were broken, they were battered, and they just kept breaking each other. But instead of practicing self-healing, they killed him. Because that's easier. You take the path of least resistance. Instead of healing yourself, you kill the one that was sent to save you. My black people, you must understand, I don't need you to validate my existence. It doesn't matter to me. We are multidimensional, we are exceptional beings. And although this vessel will die soon, my consciousness is everlasting, and I will be back. Not here, though. Not here. To know that I sacrificed myself for you ungrateful fucking creatures, you meat sacks. I don't regret it. You know what I mean? That was my purpose. I knew what would happen. I knew ultimately my life was going to have to be sacrificed. I knew that in the beginning. I just didn't know it would be so soon. I thought that I would be here to help usher in the future because I'm a healer. So usually healers are there to help heal the masses and in a new beginning. But I'm not going to make it that long. My own people set me up. So now I'm in a brand new land. I have no money. I don't know anybody. And everybody here is out to get me. I'm not going to go into great detail as to what happened, but I'll tell you the basics. I was living in Sarasota, and I was living in my car, and because my car is my home, you know, I would do whatever I would do in my home, in my car, right? It wasn't because I necessarily wanted to be in my car. It was just because I could not afford a home. So I just made do with what I had. I like to edge, and for those that don't really know what edging is, it's basically just self-pleasuring and watching porn for as long as you can. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very intense orgasm at the end, depending upon how long you can go. And if you really get technical with it, it really refers to a form of Egyptian tantric sex. Although a lot of times tantric sex is with another person, but you can also do tantric sex by yourself. And in fact, I would argue that you would kind of want to start there because you would want to be comfortable with that with yourself first and then progress to somebody else. Although it does not have to be that way. I chose it to be that way because I'm an empath and I don't want non-human energy in me or on me. You understand? So I chose to be alone. I've been alone and abstinent for many years, 8 years, 9 years. I don't really remember, but it's been many years, and I was very happy with that. But I participated in edging, right? Well, because I was living in my car, I was staying in a Walmart parking lot. Now, generally, I was parked all by myself, you know, in an area that there really was nobody around me and stuff like that. So And I always had my windows covered. Like, I was not trying to be a perv about it. I was just trying to be private about it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want anybody to think I was trying to be a predator. I'm not a predator, but I also know what I like, you know. So I was by myself though, you know what I mean, and in a parking lot at nighttime usually. So they didn't. The people of Sarasota took a great deal of offense to that, even though my actions were not meant offensively. You know, as I tried to explain. And back home from the north, I had a whole bunch of friends that, I mean, it was very common that, you know, people edged. Like, it was not even a thing. Like, it was more common that people edged that they didn't edge. You know what I mean? So I never, I've been doing it for so long that I never even paid it any attention, because it's not a predatory action. It's it's just a edging action, but it doesn't, you don't go attack people, you know what I mean? Like, you're by yourself usually. Now some people do it together, but like I told you, I prefer to be alone. So um I got caught up though. They reacted very harshly to that, and as a result of that, they initiated a series of very unfortunate events that have landed me now in a position where it's a complete checkmate position, completely. And honestly, I'm happy to go, you guys. I don't know who will see this video, and I don't even know if anybody would care. Nobody cares if I live or die. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy to go. You know what I mean? I'm even parked in a secluded area so that somebody can just come up and handle it and be gone. I'm tired of it. I hate you non-humans so much. And the fact that I've been here to protect you and to fight for you and to help heal you, and you ultimately resulted in my demise. It's a little bit of irony, which I do enjoy irony, but not necessarily to this degree. But the parable, and you know, being a Christed one means that ultimately you will have to be self-sacrificed. That's just the nature of that beast. So I already knew this day was coming. I live my life righteously, with integrity, with honesty, with love. You know, I always love. And even now as I wait to die, I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not even mad at the black folks that set me up. I'm not mad at them. I'm a little bit hurt by them, but I'm not surprised, and I'll tell you why. Many years ago, well, not many years ago, a while ago, I was communing with the ancestors, and I said to them, what was the greatest pain that you experienced during the days of enslavement? And I thought it would be a physical pain. You know, you have to understand that the Palefaces did so many torturous things, you guys. You don't even know. And most of you don't even want to know because you don't even study. You're just happy being a ghetto piece of shit. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's the truth. You understand? If you want to live that ghetto life, you are literally sacrificing yourself and your community, and it's not good. You understand? You don't have to be ghetto like that, but guess what? Many black folks want to be ghetto, so that's fine. Hey, go for it, right? The ghetto ones are the ones that set me up, because they don't understand what intelligence is. They don't understand what education is, right? They don't even know who they are, right? They're allowing their open enemy to define their behavior, which is why, I mean, anyways, not my point. So, I got caught up with these creatures that, I mean, I danced with the devil, honestly. But see, it wasn't one devil. It was, it's thousands of them. You understand? It's not just, you know, because I'm very powerful as an esoteric being, trust me. But I'm in human form, so I have limitations. But I assure you, once my consciousness is free, those limitations will be gone. And my wrath will be felt in one way or another. I assure you of that. You may not know that, but I do. Melanated people, you just don't know who you are. And I know who I am, right? Mostly. And I go by many names. One of my names was a magi. A magi we are high priests. We were during the times of Egypt when great knowledge was bestowed upon us. But because we knew that devastation was coming, we all had to go. And when we left our vessel. We imprinted the knowledge into our consciousness so that our consciousness could be transferred from generation to generation, so that ultimately, when the time came for us to strategically attack, we would have the ones that had the knowledge so we would know what to do. But my own people sacrificed me to the pale faces. So here I am, waiting to die. I'm not afraid of death, and I'm not afraid to die. I might not be too excited for the methodology that they're going to do, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be slow and torturous. Because if there's one thing I can tell you about the pale faces as a collective, they enjoy watching us suffer in every way possible. And if you don't know that, I don't need to convince you. Just do a little research. But if you even if you don't, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't change anything. My fate is set now, and I'm just waiting to die. And this will probably be my last video. I really don't know, because I'm in a foreign land, and all of these people are very angry at me, you know. So one of the key thing that these Sarasodians did to me was, when I would be edging, they recorded me, and they put those recordings online. And I believe they put those recordings online in association with some type of pedophilic activity. But I mean, if you can look at my IP address, I never looked at. I wouldn't even. I'm not even. That's disgusting, right? But I only looked at like Pornhub, or it was always adult porn. I'm not that way. But it didn't matter to them. And it doesn't matter to these people, because what they see is what they believe. They're not going to believe me. Nobody really believes me. My own friends don't really even believe me. Not about the pedophile thing, but about the situation that I'm in. They think I'm crazy. And I'm like, I'm not crazy. What these creatures did was so intricate that it seems unimaginably impossible. But understand, our open enemy is never to be underestimated, because their level of depravity and their level of cunningness and their level of vindictiveness is not to be underestimated, I assure you. And I did. I underestimated them, because I just thought that they were like, you know, cave creatures. You know what I mean? Like, they're not really worthy of my intelligent conversation, because they couldn't carry it on anyways, right? So I never really wasted time with them too much. But their level of cunningness, they outsmarted me. Now, not intellectually, because intelligent creatures like myself, we would never hurt another. And especially in our own community, even the black brothers that set me up, I still would never hurt them. I would never hurt them, because I'm better than that. I don't allow somebody else's behavior to dictate mine. I dictate my behavior. And although my brothers failed me, and my sisters, they failed me, I still would never hurt them. I have no ill will towards them. I don't. I'm not particularly proud of their behavior, but I know that we are an everlasting cosmic melanated creature. And I've been to the other side many times. Shit. It's part of what I do. And you know, it's like my friend of 25 years, he always thinks I'm crazy. Like, well, you can't do that. And I'm like, well, just because you allow your open enemy to limit what you can do. And the only reason a devil can limit a god is because they trick the god into thinking they're a devil, in which case it reduces your abilities, right? But I always knew who I was, and I define myself, right? So I always knew who I was. Not always, but I've been learning, you know what I mean? But there were certain things I've always known. I did know that I have been around since the beginning of time itself, and I have been around every existence of you goddamn meat sacks. And I'll be honest with you, there's one thing I can tell you. I hate you mostly so much, and I am so over it. I'm over fighting for you and being sacrificed by you. You never learn. Y'all never ever learned. And even you Christians, quote unquote, right? That read the Bible and know the parable of Jesus, y'all are the first ones to set your Messiah up. And so I wait to die. But my purpose here was to help heal us. That's all I was trying to do. Help to heal broken people. That's it. So that we could unify and we could take back our planet and we could fix her and she can, you know what I mean, we would just be better off, right? It didn't work that way. My end came too soon. I'm not going to be able to be here that much longer, so I wanted to make this video so that if anybody does care, you would know my last words. And it doesn't matter if you hear them or not, because I'm everlasting. And when this is over, I'm going back home. I'm not necessarily from here. And I want to go back home. So I'm all the happier to go back home. I don't want to fight for you meat sacks anymore. With that being said, when they put my video, I didn't know that I was being video recorded. Because like I said, I was by myself and my windows are covered, so I didn't even know anybody could see in. Because I really couldn't see out, so I really didn't know anybody could see in. And that was not my intention. What was happening was so where I was parked, you would literally have to go out of your way. And keep in mind, this is nighttime, right? You'd have to go out of your way to come up to my car to look into my windows, because like I said, they were covered. So these individuals were videotaping me. When they videotaped me, I'm pretty sure they put me on like some kind of a sex offender thing. I don't really know. I have no convictions of this. I don't even have I don't even have a criminal record. You know, I was a therapist for 20 years almost. I have my security clearances. I was in the military. I have no record of violence or rape or pedophilia. These things are just unfounded to me. But anyways, they put me on a website that is associated with that. So now, these people here, they believe I'm a pedophile. And I can't shake that, because they don't listen to me. They don't even know me, you know what I mean? So, of course they're going to think I'm lying, you know. Most of you fucking creatures, you don't even look outside of what, I mean, you don't even look for truth. Whatever anybody says, you just believe it. Mob mentality. Whatever your neighbor says, whatever's on TV, you just believe it, right? So you don't even give anybody the benefit of the doubt anymore. You don't even look for two sides of the story, or, you know, it doesn't matter. Anyways, I was in the store yesterday trying to get some food. I only had a little bit of money, and I got a chicken sandwich at Wawa. When I got back to Walmart, I was staying in the parking lot. They never even cooked the chicken, and it looked disgusting, like it fell on the floor and stuff. Basically, they're punishing me for something I never even did, you know. So, and the looks that I was getting and the energy I was getting was very violent and very volatile. And most of those people are like, if I get the chance, I'm gonna kill you. That was the look that I was getting. And hey, I'm fine with that, you know what I mean? I'm tired of being here. I'm broke, I'm busted. I don't want to be here no more anyway. So I don't really care. And I don't really care anymore. So, and when they put when they did that on mine, it put me in immediate danger, because, you know, there are people that kill pedophiles. And hey, I'm all for it. Go ahead, you know what I mean? But you got to make sure that you have an actual pedophile and not somebody that's being railroaded as one, because we know, listen, If there's one thing that the pale faces do as a collective, it's lie, right? So we know they lie. And if they can hem you up in a way, that they're going to do that, right? And what better way to hem up a male than to consider it, than to put out the rumor that he's a pedophile? So that's what these people here believe. And that's why I know that I'm going to be dead soon, because apparently the Floridians in Tampa are very extreme. They're more extreme than the ones in Sarasota. So I know that I don't have much time left anymore. I'm not sad though. I am a little bit hurt, but so I don't know if I finished the comment earlier. I'm trying to think of all the touching points I want to be known before I go, because I just want you guys to know. When I asked the ancestors what was the greatest pain they went through, they told me betrayal. And it was when their brothers and sisters would betray them. You know, there were many black folks that would lynch other black folks. They would lynch their own family members in the name of pale faces, just to get a biscuit or a chicken wing. So that was the greatest pain, watching your brother lift up that rope and lift you up and watch you strangled to death. So that's the point I'm at now. I understand that betrayal. It's ironic, actually. We live in a society dominated by white supremacy, even though it really isn't supreme. It's actually fragility and inferiority, but they pretend and make it look like it's superiority, but it's not. The worst things that have ever been done to me have been done to me by my own people, and I was one of the people sent. I was one of the creatures sent back to bring you into the future, to reintroduce you to knowledge that many of you have forgotten. That knowledge is in my consciousness. And now, you're not going to be able to get it from me. Understand something though, and this is something for the pale faces. They believe that in stopping ones like me, that it stops this process. Nothing stops this process. Nothing can stop this process. I mean, there is one thing it will go, you'll never get that information out of me, you understand? You'll never get that out of me. So, there's nothing that could stop this process. And as a result of that, the pale faces can kill me. Go ahead, I'll kill myself, I don't care. But you're not going to stop this process. The reign of the cruelty of the pale faces is over. And it's over now. Understand that. So even if I sacrifice tonight, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change what's coming. It doesn't change anything. I do regret that I won't be here to see it. I do regret that. Because I would enjoy watching them tear themselves apart. It's unfortunate for me, but it does not matter, because the will of the ancestors will be done. And the reign of the melanated gods and goddesses of the universe will be reinstated. And we will never be put out of power again, especially by a devil. Because once our consciousness is reunited, we will simply unimagine the pale faces, and they will never have existed to the degree that they have. But their memory and their legacy will live on in our Akashic record, which means, and I wrote this in there myself, should we happen upon a pale face in the future, they are to be exterminated immediately, without question. Without question. There will never be another pale face so long as we are in power. And we are back in power very soon here. So like I said, me being removed from here only quickens my peace, because the world I came from, there is nothing like this. There's no treachery. There's no anger. There's no violence. There's no rage. There's no television programming. There's no pedophilia. There's no rape. There's none of these things. But brothers and sisters that love each other. And that's what I am. That's what I was used to, right? Until I got here with you goddamn meat sacks. So I hope you're happy. One of the ones that was sent back to help the community, y'all sacrificed for your own nonsense, for your own ignorance. And I knew it was coming. I just didn't know it would be by the two people that it was. And they know who they are. I'm not going to put their names out there, but I'll tell you this much. I never had much faith in them because any melanated individual that listens to and sensationalizes rap music, whose lyrics are explicitly talking about killing other brothers and degrading our women, they are not to be trusted because they are not in effect of who they really are. They're allowing their open enemy to define them. So ultimately, they brought me down. And I just hope that it's quick. I just hope that my death is quick. It would be nice to say that I have family that will care if I'm dead, but they don't even care. So, and it would be nice to say that I had friends that would believe me, but I'm telling you, the level of cunningness and depravity of these pale faces is so unimaginable that when I tell the story, nobody really believes it. But it doesn't mean it's not true. It just means that for their minds, they can't comprehend this. But you see, if you allow your open enemy to define you, then they define themselves as being great and not what they really are. But if you know who they really are, they are the most violent, volatile, cunning, consuming. I mean, as a collective, not all of them are that way, but as a majority, they are that way. There's nobody that has ever matched their level of violence and genocide. Nobody. Nobody. Or cannibalism. No other race of individuals has ever eaten people other than the pale faces. Even though their history would teach, oh, well, African tribes eat. No, none of that's true. None of that's real. If you do your own research, you'll learn that. It's too late for me now, though. I just hope this information can reach the right person. And I'm now in Tampa, Florida. So if you don't hear from me again after this, it's because I've gone back home. So I don't really have any more to say. I wish you well, my people. I have always loved you. You're my angels. And no matter what, I will see you on the other side.